Welcome back for the second episode of Candlelight and Shadows. This story took place in 2021. I had just moved out on my own at the end of a 6-year relationship. My daughter and I were staying in a family home that was in probate right after the owner had passed away. I never felt anything negative there. If anything, it felt familiar. But my daughter had a different story. She was 9 at the time and constantly telling me that she could hear whispers from the dining room, the hall between our bedrooms, and that things were calling out her name. The worst of it was when she told me that there was something bothering her in her room at night. She described a large, looming, angry shadow that just hovered over her while she tried to sleep. And unfortunately for her, I didn't believe her. Until the house sold, we started packing, and the family started to sell the original owner's belongings. That was when something shifted, and whatever it was not happy. One night, I decided to take a break from packing and had a friend coming over to watch a movie. I was in my bedroom making the bed in the furthest corner of the house, and that's when I heard it. From the living room came a man's voice shouting, "What?" The voice was full of venom, and it left me frozen in place. I pressed my back against the wall, eyes on the door, and just waited, but it never said anything else. Instead of calling out hello, I called out my friend's name, because you should never greet something that you can't see. When I didn't get a response, I pulled my phone out of my pocket and immediately called him. When he picked up, I never even said hello. I skipped straight to, "Please tell me that you are inside my house right now." It wasn't possible. He didn't have keys. And in fact, he was still 3 minutes away. But he stayed on the phone with me until he got there, and we searched the entire house together. Every room, no TV, no music, no open windows, nothing. So we brushed it off. We settled on the bed and threw on Deadpool 2. But halfway through the movie, all of the hallway floorboards started to creak. And I'm not talking like the house is settling kind of sounds. These creaks started all the way down the hallway and gradually worked themselves closer to the bedroom door. They stopped right at the threshold, and we both just stared at each other because nobody was there. Then the creaking continued through the doorway, past the foot of my bed, and along the side of the bed that I was laying on. That's right beside me. It paused. "There's no way that just happened," he whispered. But it did, and we both heard it. And then it happened again. And again. The creaking started to pace back and forth from the end of the hallway, down the hall, through my door, along the foot of my bed, and to my side of the bed, and all the way back across the room and down the hall, fading in and out. As the night went on, it escalated, and the walls in my room sounded like someone was slamming them in random spots. He eventually left, and I laid there frozen until about 2 a.m., just listening and waiting to see what would happen. And then it stopped. We were thankfully out of that house within days, and I had to apologize to my daughter for not believing her. I don't think that I'll ever have an explanation for what happened, but I do have a witness. And for me, that mattered. So once again, we're going to let the story candle dim until next time. And always remember, not all shadows fade when the light does. Sleep tight.